Hello, friends. How are you all? I hope you all are taking good care of your health. Friends, as literary students, we all are familiar with the term romanticism. But do you know that there exists a subgenre of romanticism which is known as dark romanticism? In this discussion, we shall be discussing what is definition of dark romanticism. Dark Romanticism is a literary subgenre of Romanticism, reflecting popular fascination with irrational, demonic, and grotesque. Often conflated with Gothicism, it has shadowed the euphoric Romantic movement ever since its 18th century beginnings. Edgar Allan Poe is often celebrated as one of the supreme exponents of this tradition. Celebration of euphoria and sublimity has always been dodged by an equally intense fascination and melancholy, insanity, crime, and shady atmosphere with the options of ghosts, ghouls, grotesque, and irrational. The name dark romanticism was given to this form by the literary theorist Maria Praz in his lengthy study of the genre published in 1930 as The Romantic Agony. Elements of dark romanticism were a perennial possibility within the broader international movement of romanticism in both literature and art. Dark romanticism arguably began in Germany with the writers such as E.T.A. Hoffmann, Christian Heinrich Spies, and Ludwig Tieck. Though their emphasis on existential alienation, the demonic in sex, and the uncanny was offset at the same time by the more homely cult of Bidermer. British authors such as Lord Byron, S.T. Coleridge, Mary Shelley, and John William Polydore, who are frequently linked to Gothic fiction, are also sometimes referred to as dark romantics. Dark romanticism is characterized by stories of personal torment, social outcast, and usually offers commentary on whether the nature of man will save or destroy him. Some Victorian authors of English horror fiction, such as Bram Stoker and Daphne du Maurier, follow this lineage. The American form of this sensibility centered on the writers Edgar Allan Poe, Nathaniel Hawthorne, and Herman Melville. As opposed to the perfectionist beliefs of transcendentalism, these darker contemporaries emphasized human fallibility and proneness to sin and self destruction, as well as the difficulties inherent in attempts at social reform. French authors such as J.B. d'Orvilliers, Charles Baudelaire, Paul Verlaine, and Arthur Rimbaud echoed the dark themes found in the German and English literature. Baudelaire was one of the first French writers to admire Edgar Allan Poe, but this admiration or even adulation of Poe became widespread in French literary critics in the late 19th century. 20th century existential novels have also been linked to dark romanticism, as to have the sword and sorcery novels of Robert E. Howard. Now let us understand this term from the works of Nathaniel Hawthorne, who was an American novelist. He was born on 4 July 1804. He was famous as dark romantic and short story writer. His works often focus on history, morality, and religion. Much of Hawthorne's writings centers on New England, many works featuring moral metaphors with an anti-Puritan inspiration. His fictional works are considered part of the Romantic movement and more specifically dark romanticism. His themes often center on the inherent evil and sin of humanity, and his works often have moral messages and deep psychological complexity. His published works include novels, short stories, and a biography of his college friend Franklin Pierce, who became 14th President of United States. His famous work was The Scarlet Letter. The story of this novel begins in 17th century Boston, then a Puritan settlement. A young woman, Hester Prynne, is led from the town prison with her infant daughter, Pearl, in her arms and the scarlet letter A on her breast. A man in the crowd tells an elderly onlooker that Hester is being punished for adultery. Hester's husband, a scholar much older than she is, sent her ahead to America, but he never arrived in Boston. The consensus is that he has been lost at sea. While waiting for her husband, Hester has apparently had an affair, as she has given birth to a child. She will not reveal her lover's identity, however, and the scarlet letter, along with her public shaming, is her punishment for her sin and her secrecy. On this day, Hester is led to the town scaffold and harangued by the town fathers, but she again refuses to identify her child's father. The elderly onlooker is Hester's missing husband, who is now practicing medicine and calling himself Roger Chillingworth. He settles in Boston, intent on revenge. He reveals his true identity to no one but Hester, whom he has sworn to secrecy. Several years pass. Hester supports herself by working as a seamstress, and Pearl grows into a willful, impish child. Shunned by the community, they live in a small cottage on the outskirts of Boston. Community officials attempt to take Pearl away from Hester, but, but with the help of Arthur Dimmesdale, a young and eloquent minister, the mother and the daughter manage to stay together. Dimmesdale, however, appears to be wasting away and suffers from mysterious heart trouble, seemingly caused by psychological distress. Chillingworth attaches himself to the ailing minister and eventually moves in with him so that he can provide his patient with round the clock care. Chillingworth also suspects that there may be a connection between Minister's torments and Hester's secret, and he begins to test Dimmesdale to see what he can learn. One afternoon, while the minister sleeps, Chillingworth discovers a mark on the man's breast, the details of which are kept from the reader, which convinces him that his suspicions are correct. Dimmesdale's psychological anguish deepens and he invents new torture for himself. In the meantime, Hester's charitable deeds and quiet humility have earned her a reprieve from the scorn of the community. One night, when Pearl is about 7 years old, she and her mother are returning home from a visit to a deathbed when they encounter Dimmesdale at top of the town scaffold, trying to punish himself for his sins. Hester and Pearl join him too, and the three link hands. Dimmesdale refuses Pearl's request that he acknowledge her publicly the next day, and a meteor marks a dull red A in the night sky. Hester can see that the minister's condition is worsening, and she resolves to intervene. She goes to Chillingworth and asks him to stop adding to Dimmesdale's self-torment. Chillingworth refuses. Hester arranges an encounter with Dimmesdale in the forest because she is aware that Chillingworth has probably guessed that she plans to reveal his identity to Dimmesdale. The former lover decides to flee to Europe, where they can live with Pearl as a family. They will take a ship sailing from Boston in 4 days. Both feel a sense of release, and Hester removes her scarlet letter and lets down her hair. Pearl, playing nearby, does not recognize her mother without the letter. The day before the ship is to sail, the town people gather from a holiday and Dimmesdale preaches his most eloquent sermon ever. Meanwhile, Hester has learnt that Chillingworth knows of their plan and has booked passage on the same ship. Dimmesdale, leaving the church after his sermon, sees Hester and Paul standing before the town scaffold. He impulsively mounts the scaffold with his lover and his daughter and confesses publicly, exposing a scarlet letter seared into the flesh of his chest. He falls dead as Pearl kisses him. Frustrated in his revenge, Schillingworth dies a year later. Hester and Pearl leaves Boston and no one knows what has happened to them. Many years later, Hester returns alone, still wearing the scarlet letter, to live in her old cottage and resumes her charitable work. She receives occasional letters from Pearl, who has married a European aristocrat and established a family of her own. When Hester dies, she is buried next to Dimmesdale. The two share a single tombstone which bears a scarlet letter A. Thus, the theme of this story is an example of dark romanticism. I hope till now you would have understood what is the meaning of term dark romanticism. So if you did like this video, please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day.